Hi, Richard here. I thought I'd just share with you some of my thinking right now. It's a beautiful spring day outside here in Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm sitting here, and it's about a week from when it is. I'll be traveling to go to the Chicago Power Network session. Really looking forward to it. Inspired by Laura Parrish talking about what the impact was on when she went to her first event upon what it is she could do and her focus. And so going down that path, got my hotel reservations there already taken care of, and really good reservations. And I commend the Empower Network folks for putting that together for us. I was surprised we still had rooms available, but it was right down towards the end as far as where it is I made my reservation at the Regency. Hyatt Regency, and what a wonderful room for a great price. So then I started to take a look at my airline reservations and what was available, and that becomes more complicated on the pricing and the timing of it because of when it is I'd be going and when I'd be coming back. It looks like coming back would be late at night, and I hate to have my wife have to drive out to the airport, but I can come up with other ways of getting around doing that. Then today I wanted to take a look at how I was doing and do all my due diligence with making sure I was doing all I could do to get my two leads or two new members in the Empower Network each day. I haven't had anybody join just yet, and I was trying to check out what was going on, and went over and took a look at my autoresponder list, and it didn't look like any of my autoresponder messages had been sent out. And I had set up a list of combined all my contact lists, and I had over 200 people on them. So I was wondering why it is I wasn't getting any feedback from anybody about what it is I was sending out. And it turned out that bottom line is that I had not set up the link between my autoresponder, which is Get Response, that I had selected, and the link that was necessary to be put in to the Empower Network side of it to make sure it would work. And I got a lead just the other day, and it didn't turn up being in my contact list. So finally got that figured out, got that done. And then I went through and I said I wanted to reword that first message that would go out, because I want to let all those people know why it is that I was sending them this list of messages, because for some of them it looked like it was something that bolt out of the blue. Some of my contacts I hadn't talked with in a very long period of time, and then there was others who I talk with on a weekly basis here, and they wouldn't have any idea why it is I'd be sending them information about a network marketing or a internet marketing opportunity. So I needed to explain that, so I rewrote that message over several times to make sure that that first message that went out would be something that would be explaining what it is I was trying to do and why it is they would be receiving an email of this type from them. And then I sat there and I pondered over whether or not I would go ahead and send that first email out. And I was looking at myself and what's going on here? Why wouldn't I want to send it out? And I started asking myself the question, what's going on? And what I realized is that really that I probably needed to concentrate upon my why. Why am I doing this? That's the only reason that I can explain why it is I had any hesitancy about sending that message out and taking the next step, which would be interfacing with folks that are on my contact list and others that were out there and who would be asking questions, which would be perfectly all right to me. But it meant that for some reason in my own mind I hadn't got it clear why it is that I was doing this and what it is I wanted to accomplish. I'd go through all the steps of writing down what my goals are and what it is I was trying to accomplish, and I had created a whole business on Wellness Results Now about trying to get the word out about improving wellness, and I had, in my own mind, had already figured out that financial wellness was a big part of your overall wellness, because that can really eat at you if in fact that you haven't got your financial condition in order. It undermines your health and your wellness, and because of the fact that there's too many concerns about that, and if they weren't concerned about it, they should be concerned about it. And certainly as part of the message that I could be sending out, and I was including that in my message. But once again, I still needed to go back in and figure out why it is that, in fact, that I was not moving forward as quickly as I thought I should be moving forward, because I knew I wanted to do this. Looking forward to going to Chicago and learning about that, because it's relatively close by. It's a relatively simple flight there. And you get and the accommodations are such that you get a shuttle at the airport that takes you right to the living accommodations and takes you back at the end of the session. And it's a matter of me then selecting which flights that I'd be taking in and out, and the timing of those flights, and then making arrangements at here at this end to get myself back home from the airport, which is all easily done. There's a few little things that you have to do. Then I just went back and I said, I really need to take a look at my why. Why am I doing this? Because it apparently isn't high enough to really give me the motivation to move forward on this. And that hesitancy then raised that question in my mind. And that's what I'll have to be doing, is searching upon that for the rest of maybe this afternoon, this evening, to think about what it is that's going on. Why am I doing this? Why it's important for me to be doing this at this time. And so I started writing down and thinking through some of the people that would be benefiting. In fact, if I could do this successfully and communicate why it is that what the Empower Network can do for others. And then I reflected upon a URL that I had started using quite some time ago when I was teaching my course on building a successful business using the internet. And I had talking with a representative out at Trident Technical College here in the Charleston area when I was going to teach the course there. And she came up with the term of what we're really doing is helping everyday people with this program, because we're enabling them, everyday people, enabling them to do things that would be able to free them financially and give them an opportunity to generate income through an online business. And I had used that term, empowering everyday people, and it occurred to me that empowering everyday people is exactly what it is the Empower Network is all about. And that is, and David Wood mentions several times in his presentations about the fact that he had a choice of making the Empower Network focused upon everyday common people, or versus focusing upon a different level of people, top tier network or something like that. So wanted to make it completely affordable that anybody could get into it and have an opportunity to improve themselves and have no limitations upon what it is their skills were, or what their economic circumstances were, or what their ethnic background was, wherever they came from. Everybody can do this, and the co-founders of the Empower Network have dedicated themselves to making that possible. And so that, to me, it seems to me, is a worldwide mission. In using the internet, you can then get out to people who are in the most poverty-stricken places of the world. But if you take a look at what it is they did in India with bringing the internet down to the local village level, we're talking about empowering everyday people around the world. And there's a fascination with this technology, and the children, for example, are fascinated with it, and they'll teach themselves how to do these things. It's just an incredible thing that's going on out there, and the opportunity is incredible to make a significant change in the whole world if we empower these people with these tools that we have to be able to access the global economy and generate income for themselves, and that income then would be spread widely throughout the countryside, which could go into village building and regional building and nation building, and we can go to the poorest places in the world and enable them to be able to do what it is they can do by themselves through the internet, using these type of vehicles to generate the wealth that's necessary for them to be able to turn their whole lives around, for not just themselves, but for so many people. That, to me, is a highly worthwhile goal, something that I can certainly relate to, and something that's directly related to what I was trying to do in my wellness program, to make wellness widely available throughout the world. Had a plan, and still do have a plan for doing that. But in order to move that forward, it requires other things that need to be done. It needs to have capital investments to get in to do it, because it doesn't happen by itself. You have to involve as many people as possible in getting the word out. And so basically that I was constrained in what it is I could do because of my own financial limitations on how much I could take on myself and how much I could burden my own family with trying to invest in promulgating ideas like that, of making wellness widely available throughout the world. But if we can include in wellness then financial wellness, then in fact doing something like promoting something like the Empower Network makes a whole lot of sense. And you know who you're talking to. You're talking to all the people out there who can benefit from this, which is the whole world can benefit from it. And I think so. I just think it's incredible that David Wood and David Sharp would then come up with a vehicle that has the potential of enabling so many people throughout the world to be able to achieve a better lot for themselves. And you know, the world, we don't have limited wealth in the world. It's a world of abundance out there if you take a look at it like that. And given the technology that we're talking about, anybody can come on board. And I've had people that communicated for me from South Africa. I've had them communicate for me in towns in China, for example, in other ventures I've been in, and when I was doing my webinars and things like that. And so we can reach out to many, many people. I was impressed with David Wood talking about looking out who are the people who are in his downlines, where the money was coming from, and seeing people that are in Malaysia and Singapore and places like that. So we're reaching out to so many people out there. And so this becomes a worthwhile goal. And I think that basically I just solve my own problem of what it is my why ought to be. And I need to articulate it better to understand what my focus is. And that'll make it more easy for me then put blog posts out there, because I know who it is my target audience is. And that is those people out there who can be enabled and pick themselves up with this technology. And so anyway, thank you very much for listening, and any feedback you can give me that would make me become clearer on what my why is, I'd appreciate it. Because the feedback, your feedback, I would really appreciate. Thank you so much for listening.